It is late in the year 1804, and 15 Scottish families have landed about a month ago at a swampy piece of land near what is now Wallaceburg in Ontario. Malaria was taking hold among the colonists, and the swampy, commonly flooded land is difficult to cultivate. Little did these colonists know, this would only be the beginning of their problems. The Baldoon settlement was sponsored by a character we have talked about before, Lord Thomas Douglas, 5th Earl of Selkirk, who is also known for his actions during the Pemmican War. Selkirk imagined a settlement similar to his home in the Scottish Highlands. Thus, Selkirk acquired land in modern Ontario and convinced 15 Scottish families to attempt to establish his colony. The colonists arrived on September 5th of 1804 to find the land they were to establish their colony on was a malaria-ridden swamp. Food was hard to grow, and sheep didn't thrive like back in Scotland. Disease also regularly spread through the settlement. In July of 1812, Americans invaded Baldoon and took the colony's livestock. Lord Selkirk sold his land at Baldoon in 1818. While many left, others stayed, and some, like John MacDonald and his family, moved to the area. The 1820s in Baldoon was largely uneventful, until events starting in 1829 would rock the community for years to come. The first event happened to some women working in the McDonald barn. All of a sudden, wooden poles in the roof began to break and fall to the ground, sending the women running for cover. Investigations found that the beams were sturdily installed and shouldn't have come loose so easily. Then unexplained sounds began to be heard by the MacDonald family, such as footsteps throughout the house that the MacDonalds described as that of an army. The noises stopped when the family investigated, however. Fires began to start randomly, and the family had to put them out, as if someone or something were trying to burn their home. One incident saw a wooden cradle with one of the MacDonald's babies inside begin rocking violently, and when the men of the family tried to stop it, it wouldn't. Rocks and bullets began hitting the house, breaking windows. The MacDonalds marked some of the rocks and threw them off the property. The same rocks would appear a few nights later. Eventually, the MacDonalds boarded up their windows. Word of what was going on in Baldoon spread through Canada and into the United States. Visitors came to the Ontario town hoping to see paranormal activity as it happened, and the MacDonald farm attracted much interest. While the MacDonalds were initially happy with the interest, they eventually became very concerned for their safety. The idea came up that the entity might be tied to the land, but when the MacDonalds tried moving the John's father's home nearby, the events followed them. Thus, the family moved back to their property but stayed in a tent outside. Eventually, the MacDonalds decided they needed to seek help. They met a spiritualist who told them that she believed a curse had been placed on them by an old woman who John got into a disagreement with when they initially bought the property. There's alternating theories as to how the MacDonalds broke the curse. One says the MacDonalds performed some ritual against the entity, and the haunting just stopped. Another stated that since they were cursed via witchcraft, the MacDonalds performed witchcraft to break the curse. The family acquired a black goose and shot it in the wing with a silver bullet, and the next day they saw the old lady with her arm in a sling. No matter what happened, the incident stopped by the mid-1830s. However, the house did burn down in 1930. The Haunting in Baldoon is one of the most famous Canadian ghost tales. Neil MacDonald, who was 5 when the events occurred, wrote his account of the tale and published the Baldoon Mystery in 1910. While events of the tale have been exaggerated over the years, something happened in the town of Baldoon in the early 1830s. Thanks for watching.